you find me face looking fret, it's something that really get me upset. If me face looking like it want to fret, it's something that really get me upset.
Like studio has some intentions, but that is not for now. later on in the year, early January and so on, right? don't tell them anything. So welcome back, everyone. So the Ministry of Labour is conducting a job vacancy survey again. To tell us more is Bruce Spencer, head of the Labour Market Information Unit at the Ministry of Labour, and we do have Mr. Wendell Thomas. He's from Kyrie Consultants. Gentlemen, good morning.
Good morning.
Morning to you, Marlon.
Good to see you all, gentlemen. All right, so here's what, Mr. Spencer, let's lead off the discussion with you. Why is this survey so important, sir?
Well, this survey deals with the demand side of labor. You know, that is an information that the employer would have to provide, and is a critical component because it helps in terms of looking at the skills gaps or skill mismatches within the labor market. And it also helps in terms of providing information for job seekers, people who probably want to get into particular careers. It helps in terms of the businesses because they may have hard to fill vacancies that they need to fill. They may have future vacancies they need to fill and so on. So this particular survey helps in terms of all of that, you know, and it's very critical.
Mr. Spencer, I think that we would have spoken about this earlier this year. So is it a continuation of the last survey or is it a new one?
No, it's a continuation of the last survey. You know, and we want to finish this survey. You know, we are almost past the half distance of the particular survey, but we're moving kind of slow, and that's the problem. And that's why I think we need to engage the public with the stakeholders concerning this. Yeah. We need to gather information that will be able to cover at least 2,000 firms. And the thing is that we're just over half of that. And the thing is that we need to engage the public so that we'll be able to get the information.
What has been holding back the process?
Well, I think that Mr. Wendell, Kyrie Consultant, from Kyrie Consultant, we'll be able to give that kind of information. So, Wendell?
Right. Mr. Thomas?
Yes, good morning again. Yes, the survey started in February of this year. And we had anticipated that we would be in the field for approximately 3 months. We are now entering month 5. And the major issue in terms of completing the exercise that we encountered related to the availability of firms to devote some time to be interviewed. While we have made some progress, there are some sectors in particular that we would like to obtain better coverage for. For example, the ICT sector, which is a growing sector of interest. We feel that we need greater representation in that sector. And of course, that sector also includes the media, so that we trust that TV6, for example, would be willing to get on board and participate. But that's one of the sectors of interest. We also want to place more focus on the construction sector so that in our overall sample, that sector plays a key role generally. And we would want to see that it's properly represented. And finally, while not as important generally in terms of the economic space, but having its own value, we also want to focus a bit on the area of arts and entertainment and recreation. I think the primary reason has been that a lot of businesses would have been treated with closure of their financial periods, etc. And it requires a bit of pre-planning based on the information that we are requesting, so that it's a matter of contacting businesses, scheduling a visit with them, etc. And that process in itself is a bit time-consuming. So we are hoping that through this program today, etc., we'll be able to highlight some of the benefits to engaging in the survey and get some businesses on board as we make a push to close out the exercise.
Yeah. Let's talk a little bit about the process by which you are gathering this information. So is it then that you call each business individually, you set a date and a time, and then you present a number of questions to the businesses?
Yes. Basically, we would, the business selected are derived from a sample, so that businesses are selected in a random and systematic manner. And once we have identified a particular establishment for participation, we contact them via phone to solicit their participation. We would send out email that provides further details, specifics on the nature of data that would be required. And once the business agrees to participate, we would then proceed to schedule and conduct a face-to-face interview. It's important for us to conduct a face-to-face because there are some technical elements of the questionnaire that would not allow it to self-administration. So there's a lot of coordination taking place between the field personnel and the businesses, and of course we have to manage that interaction around the busy schedule that some businesses have to treat with on a day-to-day basis.
Yeah, and before I bring back Mr. Spencer in the discussion, but Mr. Thomas, how long does this questioning period take at the business place? Because as you know, some business people may say, well, we are very busy. So how long does this questioning exercise take? An hour, half an hour, 45 minutes?
Okay, it could be all of the above, Marvin, and it depends really on the size of the firm and the level of activity that they have been involved in terms of recruitment, separations, etc. So that for a small establishment, you could find that the interviewing process could take as little as half an hour. But if you're treating with a larger organization, it could in fact take about an hour or so, given the level of detail that might be required. Now, let me just add that not every question must be answered in the questionnaire. The questions that are presented to you are really based on your answers to prior questions, so there's a bit of skipping and fluency in the administration of the instrument. But all in all, I would say that it's safe to plan for at least 1 hour.
Yeah. Mr. Spencer, so it's really a race against time right now.
Yes, of course. And I don't want the firms to get scared in terms of when you look at the time you have to take to do the questionnaire, because this survey could be done in 3 to 5 years. It's done all over the world, in Canada, in USA, in Europe, on a regular basis, for the larger survey, 3 to 5 years. But there's a shorter survey we want to bring out, which is a lot less detailed, and we want to produce in a quarterly manner. And all the other developing countries do it as well. And it's critical to understand the importance of data. This is the age of information, and data represents information. And we need to take that data, and there's something called big data, which is even becoming more and more present because of technology. It's large volumes of data, but it's unstructured. And you're taking this data now, and you're putting some structure and displaying it to the country. So the thing is that this vacancy data is for the demand side. It's one component of the labor market. The supply side deals, the CSO produces that information, which is a labor force survey, which deals with employment and unemployment. This survey deals with vacancies. And what happens is that we're trying to get the skill gaps, the skills matches, because what we realize is that a lot of people are applying for jobs and they're not getting jobs. And in most cases, you realize they don't have the skill. And if you don't have the skill, what happens is that you'd want to now do some course in order to get the skill. And sometimes the institutions don't have it. So the thing is that once we get this information, right, we can now produce tables and then reports that we can present to the public. So all stakeholders will become a little bit more informed. That means businesses, job seekers, those who are getting into a career, the normal layman on the street, and those who want to do further investigation into different components of the labor market.
Yeah. Mr. Spencer, we just only have about 1 minute again. I'm sure that business leaders are listening. What is the message that you want to tell them this morning?
What I want to say, I want to encourage them to understand that once we work together, we can have progress within the country concerning information within the labor market. This is just one of the projects that we are doing. We are also doing information, a project on labor market projections, the labor market ecosystem. It deals with producers and users of the information. And I am saying that all the rest of the world are doing it, developed countries, and it helps them out a lot in terms of finding spaces for everyone within the job market. So I'm encouraging, and I'm encouraging the businesses to fill out the questionnaire so that we can have information and produce the reports and so on, so everybody can benefit from it.
Yeah, gentlemen, it was a pleasure speaking with you all this morning. We are out of time, but thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, bye for now. So it's time for the 7 o'clock news headlines. We're coming back.